everyone, but this video is for cat lovers only. So if you're not into strokes, furry stripes or tails, or whiskers, long whiskers, you want to get going now before you get stuck for good. Still here? Well then, come on in. This is the Cat Cat Café in Stratford, Ontario. Hands down the best cat cafe we found in Canada yet. So we keep going back again and again and again. But why? What makes it so good? It's not a large space, we've seen bigger, but it is very thoughtfully arranged for cats and for humans. Cats are territorial animals, so there has to be a nook or a corner for everybody to call their own. Some top-class cat furniture on display here. Seating is provided for the humans, although most prefer to just roll on the floor with the cats, which is what they're here for in the first place. But it is not the furnishings that are the secret ingredient. That, without doubt, is the cats. There are 6 resident cats here. Actually, it might be as many as 9 resident cats. And at least as many foster cats up for adoption. And it is the large number of residents that does it. Because paying guests are guaranteed at least 4 or 5 cats at any time, who feel at home here, are not afraid, and up for cuddles, strokes and a bit of play. But with each subsequent visit, I have this one nagging question. Can this be a viable business? Could I make people pay me to have cats? I really have no idea. So you know what? Let's find out. Let's try and do the maths. Starting with the basics, cause a cat needs a place to live, food to eat, water to drink, and, well, a litter box to go to as a result. So how much for a space bang smack in the middle of central Stratford? As I look at it towards the end of May 2003, there isn't much available, but this is literally a minute's walk away. $15 a square foot a month, just over 1,300 feet, that's about 120 meters square, $20,000 a month in rent. But 120 square meters is a lot of space. You can probably do with half. Like here, I'd say they have about 120, 130 total, but the cafe is a separate business from the cat lounge. So say 60, 70 square for the cat lounge, you're still talking $10,000 in rent alone a month. Now you can have a bigger place for $2.5 a month, but it's outside the city center here. So you cannot capitalize on all the pedestrian weekend and show tourist traffic. And walk-ins seem to be a large percentage of customers. Husband says nobody ever walks past a window with a cat in it and says, you know what, I'm gonna go in and pay $10 to stroke that cat. But it seems people are doing exactly that. So, leaving the rent aside for a moment, let's look at the utilities. Electricity, heating, water, and Wi-Fi for your customers. Based on what we're spending on media, okay, there's less of us, but the house is bigger, let's say $700 a month. Then the cats have to eat. How much does a cat eat? Well, I did run a little poll among my cat-owning friends. Basically, everybody's cats eat completely different things in wildly differing amounts. But based on some veterinarians' websites and on some food manufacturers' recommendations, I have come up with a daily mixture. 185 grams wet food tin plus 60 grams of dry cat food. For your average cat, which should weigh about 5 kilograms. So, looking in various shops, and let's say we're feeding them cats some decent food, not the cheapest lot, you can expect about $4 a tin, that's including tax, and about $40 for a 7 pound, that's 3.5 kilos roughly, 3.17 exactly, of dry food. This should last one cat about 6 weeks, so that's about $30 a month. Plus the 30 tins for $4 each, 120. So it's about $145 to feed a cat a month. Let's be generous and say 160 because there will be treats and so on. Therefore, rounding up for 9 cats, about $1,500 a month. Now, cats eat, cats need litter box. If they're indoor cats like these. The litter boxes are about $40 each, so it's an upfront investment, but not much of it, even with 9 cats. As for the litter, I'll spare you the calculation, but I've come up with $240 a month for 9 cats again. Then, as they say in agriculture, you have livestock, you have dead stock. To avoid the latter, you're going to need a veterinarian. You can buy reasonable pet health insurance for about $40 a month a cat. The policy, of course, will have its limitations, but let's take that number plus the $250 deductible a year a cat gets you to about $550 a month. There is one significant upfront investment. You have to set up the space. Well, looking at the website of the people who furnished this place, behold some 4,000 or 5,000 Canadian dollars in cat furniture. But here they kindly donated it. Beds, blankets, cat toys and such, I've been told, are also donations. So say you can sweet talk people into doing the same for you. In that case, the last cost category left is employment. A member of the staff is always in the room to ensure that the house rules are followed. The cat lounge is open 7 days a week, except for public holidays, year-round, for an average of 8 hours a day. It looks as if the owners are already busy running the cafe and the shop. So let's assume you need one person for about 10 hours a day. I know, assume makes us of you and me, but just for this calculation. The current minimum wage in Ontario, say you're employing cat lovers, is almost $16, scheduled to go up to $17 minus a few cents this autumn. Looking forward, that's about $5,200 a month for employee, times 1.4, which is the average cost for the employer, $7,300. So everything together now, $10,000 in rent, $7,300 in employment, $1,500 in food, $700 in media, $240 in litter, and $550 in pet insurance. Gets you to just over $20,000 a month in costs. Now this is likely inflated. For example, for foster cats, the shelter pays all the living expenses and the vet bills. Don't ask me where they get the money. This explains the many foster cats in all cat cafes we visited in Ontario. Some of them even have mostly foster cats. That, however, if laudable as a general concept, is not so great for the customers. Foster cats are likely to be scared of people, so you end up with a very low playful kittens to humans ratio. But to bring the cost down, you can have more foster cats. Maybe some volunteer friends can help you rather than paid staff. You can likely get bulk discount on food and litter. But the big one is always going to be the rent. Cost versus location and visibility. You could get lucky. As I look now, in July 2003, there is this central property in Stratford for just $4,300 a month. Or you could maybe go a little further out. Question here, I suppose, is how much can you make? As this will determine what you can afford. Now the cat lounge, as I said, is open 8 hours a day every day. The price is $10.50 plus tax for an adult and $6 plus tax for child under 13. A maximum of 10 people an hour. The most people we've seen here at any one time were 8, about half of them half-sized. No, scrap that, because there's at least 10 here and more came in later. But even if they're maxed out all the time and it's all adult tickets, that's only about $25,000. And you have to pay income tax on it.
Okay, honey.
Ribble.
You okay, honey?
So how do they do it? I don't know. What I do know is I shan't venture my own cat cafe anytime soon. So, see you in Stratford next time. Oh. Gremlin on the road.
So just got to try and take this cup because whilst we are within spitting distance,
There's the smaller in the middle.
well, it's not, it's just that the cars are going at different times. It's not like normal, is it? Traffic lights where you just go.
I don't know. Well, outside the cafe. Hello. We know there's a power outage in town.
Can't get in.
You can't get in.
No,
Okay.
it's run by electricity.
Yeah, they're really loud.
Oh, okay.
They seem to like the little kind of weird, fuzzier heads. Or meditation sometimes.
Yeah.
I seriously couldn't make this up.